Romo developed by Romotive. Welcome to Project Ventive. In our today's video, we are going to talk about the Romo developed by Romotive. Before the video starts, like and share this video. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel Project Ventive for more updates. Romotive is a company that manufactures robotic platforms that tap into the power of smartphones in order to rapidly provide users with new functionality via mobile applications. Romo, their first product on the platform, is a robotic tank toy that users can personalize through hardware additions, combat with their friends, and control remotely via a live video feed. This toy was their initial offering on the site. In addition to being infinitely programmable with an intuitive interface that uses a drag and drop mechanism, Romo can also be expanded by downloading additional mobile apps that add new behaviors. The original Romo was a charming small hand-made robot with a cute little face that roamed around the room, turning your phone into a rat-sized telepresence rig. The second Romo was a larger robot with a larger face. Romotive, the company behind the Romo, has its headquarters in Las Vegas. They hand-assembled all of the Romo 10 models and distributed them during the winter of 2013-2014. Simply remove them from the packaging, install the software, and let your imagination run wild. Romo will already be charged when it arrives. Hardware owned by Romo. A smartphone can be used to control the motorized acrylic base's auxiliary connector, and the base itself is acrylic or iPod Touch. A battery that can be recharged. A wire for charging. Analog circuitry with 2 motor outputs, which is compatible with any phone that is capable of emitting the appropriate frequencies to drive the motors. Warning to those who modify hardware: we invite you to disassemble Romo and come up with innovative ways to use the interface that connects smartphones and motors. All we ask is that you make your creations available to the rest of the community. Software developed by Romo. The software developed by Romo will be made available for download through the iTunes App Store and the Android market. Because Romo is a real robot, he is capable of being programmed in an unlimited number of ways and may be instructed to perform virtually any task. On the other hand, Romo will initially come packaged with the following applications: Romo Remote. Transform Romo into an incredible covert operative robot. Have you ever wished you could be in 2 places at once, or that you could secretly observe someone? That is something that can be done with Romo. Through the camera on Romo's smartphone, you are able to monitor his location and communicate with him through voice shout-outs. Romo Kart is a mixed reality take on the famous racing game Mario Kart, and it pits you against your pals in head-to-head competition. You are able to deliver digital attacks to your pal, which will cause their robot to spin out of control. In addition, as you make your way toward the finish line, you have the ability to destroy their power, deflect bombs, and reverse their controls. Module for programming with drag and drop. You can program Romo directly on your smartphone, and then watch as he carries out the instructions you give him. The programming tool that uses a drag and drop interface provides, among other things, movement, conditional statements, loops, and the ability to refer to other functions. No more embedded programming. The toy robot can be maneuvered like a remote control car, and when the telepresence mode is engaged, it functions very similarly to Skype while moving around. You can program Romo by using the app itself, but purchasing it also grants you access to a software development kit, SDK, that enables you to create apps of your own. Even though I'm not a programmer, I have to say that reviewing a product hasn't been this enjoyable in a very long time. Our editor's choice goes to Romo because he appeals to both children and adults with his unique ability to balance intelligence and emotion. Conception and organization. Romo, fresh out of the box, is really nothing more than a set of wheels. It is tank-like in its continuous track form and is 3 inches tall, 4.5 inches wide, and 5.6 inches deep, HWD. There's a charging port located on the bottom panel, and a full charge using the USB charging cord that is included should provide enough power to run the base for 2 hours. The top features a cradle for your mobile device, which can be safely stored in place thanks to the rubber stoppers that are located on either side. Romo is backwards compatible with Apple phones up to the iPhone 4, as well as iPod Touches starting with the 4th generation and newer. It is available in either a 30-pin or lightning configuration, depending on your preference. Both variants have the same overall appearance, with the exception of the connector. I put the lightning model through its paces by utilizing an iPhone 5S. There is no assistance for Android-based mobile devices. In order to begin using Romo, you will first need to visit the App Store and obtain the free Romo application. After you have installed the app on your mobile and connected it to the base, Romo will come to life. The process of getting to know Romo. When you initially activate the application, it will play a cute and humorous introduction video that will explain how Romo arrived on Earth. After then, you are introduced to Romo, who consists of nothing more than a pair of eyes and a mouth superimposed on a blue background on the screen of your phone. The amazing thing about Romo is that despite the obvious artificiality of the situation, he comes across as a genuine, living presence. This is made possible by the adaptability of the dock as well as some clever programming. When Romo is speaking to you, he literally looks you over with a curious expression on his face, much as you might imagine a sentient robot that has just lately landed on Earth to do. Its ability to mimic a wide variety of emotions elevates it above the status of a plaything. When you touch the screen, Romo's eyes will follow your finger, and if you touch one of his eyes, it will blink. If you touch the other eye, it will follow your touch as well. As a side note, in order to utilize Romo, you need to be at least old enough to read. While it does create a lot of amusing sounds, all of the dialogue and interaction is done through slow, easy-to-read text. The range of motions that Romo is capable of performing is quite extensive. It is able to travel in both directions, rotate through a full 360 degrees, tilt in either direction, and accelerate to a stunning speed. And due to the fact that it has a propensity to wander around quite a bit as you are playing with it, I would advise you to play with Romo on the floor as opposed to a table, where it may easily fall off. The software will notify you in advance whenever Romo is going to require a significant amount of area in order to traverse. Nevertheless, I wish there was a sensor to prevent it from falling off raised surfaces, as you have to be very careful around stairs or any other declines, lest you send your phone or iPod overboard. In addition, I wish there were a sensor to prevent it from falling off elevated surfaces. When you first begin interacting with Romo, you will be tasked with assisting it in completing a series of training missions in order to get it ready for a major space competition. Because they demonstrate everything Romo is capable of doing as well as the programming required to make it accomplish those things. These missions are not only entertaining for children but also educational for adults. As you progress through the game and learn new actions, those actions will become accessible to you so that you can use them to independently program the robot. You will eventually be able to teach Romo to distinguish colors, at which point you will be able to direct it to navigate a maze that you have created on the floor using color tape and even have it chase a ball that is colored. Remote control. There is still a lot of fun to be had after you have mastered all of the controls for Romo, despite the fact that you now know everything there is to know about controlling him. Probably the most time I spent with the robot was when it was in the Romo control mode, which lets you drive Romo around like a toy vehicle equipped with a camera. In this mode, I spent the most time with the robot, or, I suppose, a landlocked drone. However, in order to accomplish this, you will need to have access to a second iOS device that is compatible, which means that you will likely need to lend your children either your iPhone or your iPad. To get started with the functionality, you will first need to go to the App Store and download the Romo Control app. When you launch Romo Control on a device, Romo will instantly appear as a list of potential options so long as both the device that is linked to Romo and the device that is running Romo Control are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. The screen of your iPhone, iPod, or iPad will automatically display a live video feed transmitted from the front-facing camera of the device attached into the base once you have selected your connected Romo. Now Romotive is making a comeback with the Romo 2.0, a device that has been streamlined and reimagined to resemble more like a toy than an actual tool. Your smartphone serves as Romo's point of connection, and it can be operated by a second smartphone or tablet. Remotely controlling Romo allows you to move him around the room, activate the camera to see what's going on, and even cause his adorable blue face to light up and smile when it sees other people. If you pledge now, the Romo will cost you $150. and the creators are seeking to raise $100,000 so that they can make and ship these adorable little creatures. The employees at Romotive take their work with robots very seriously. They slept in flats that had been converted into production facilities, and in typical Shanghai fashion, they assembled each Romo one at a time while building their products around a large table in the middle of the room. Shenzhen, on the other hand, is where production of the new Romo will take place. In addition to this, the development team has plans to create a totally new app for Romo, which will include some unique capabilities such as autonomous navigation, facial recognition, and computer vision. They are also going to add an SDK for developers to use in order to add features to the Romo. It's amazing to see that even relatively simple telepresence rigs like this one are getting more and more advanced. Perhaps one day we will all cower behind Romos as we go about our business, our limbs wasting away and our eyes becoming dim as we scoot around with our souls wed to tiny robots, watching the world as it crumbles down around us, as dogs and cats become wild and mean in the streets, and the works of man crumble into the sea, leaving us exposed and shivering in a virtual prison of our own making that we have created. I can hardly wait. This is end of this video. Do you feel it nice? Make sure to give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Project Ventive for more videos.